What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another run here, overdue run here, if I say so myself, on American Truck Simulator. Today, I'm going to go over a little bit what's been going on. A lot of fun. But first off, let me get into the truck here. This is the Peterbilt 579, as we are all used to, but it's a little different. This is actually Tom Dooley's Enhanced 579 version 1.5.1. It brings together some of his work as well as GT Mike's Epic package. As you can see, there's a little badge right there on the sleeper. That adds the aero kit, basically. You can see that black strip along the bumper and the bottom of the side skirt there. More of an aerodynamic package to it. He's key features, 2 sleeper options, a shorter 50 or 58-inch and a longer 80-inch. Stretched chassis for all but the day cabs. So that means there's a 6x4, 6x4 lowered tag lift, 8x4 lift steer mod lift, modular aero kits by default. The stand-up sleepers will be naked and can be fitted with cab sleeper fillers, side panels, roof flaring, not the 58-inch. Side skirts. If you also have GT Mike's Epic package, you'll have an abundance of options, which I have. So maybe it doesn't include this, but it tags team with it. Mount points to decorative options like bull bars, headache racks, APU fenders. See the listing within the file. He does have a description there, so when you guys unzip the file, take a look at it. Look at the description there. It'll give you all the information you need. But I went with a simple, clean look here, and I do have the different sleeper on there. You can see how big it is. I do have the the closet rack on the back there with the satellite tracker. I do also have, and Viper, I believe it was Viper that put this up, and I will have the link for it in the description, so just check it out. If you guys were a fan of the Alcoa rims that were on the 389, whether it's Viper or TAM edition, but you didn't like having the issues with the truck that a lot of people would have with the frame rate, now you can have your rims and deactivate the 389. He's released it separate. People were crying for it, and I agree. I'd love to have these rims on all Peterbilts, not just the 389. So he's released it. Now you can deactivate the 389. Go ahead and roll with the SCS or the 389 or the 579 and have your Alcoa rims. Also, keep in mind, if you've got the Alcoa big tire pack, you can also roll with those too, but that's a different pack all by itself. These right here are standalone, so enjoy them, have fun. I know a lot of people are happy about that. I know I am, so kudos to Viper. Thank you very much for doing that. But other than that, the truck this looks sexy, and the paint here I had today is modeled after actually a W900 I saw a couple days ago on the highway. Very sleek, and this line here is a little lower than what I saw on the truck, but it's stretched chassis, really clean, really nicely lit. Not overdone with the chrome, beautiful looking truck, and I've kind of tried to copy it here with this look. So it's a very simple, clean, flush look to it, a whole truck. I'm very pleased with it, and so with the rims and everything else I've got on here, I think it just sets it off nicely. So time for me to shut the hell up here for a minute or two and get on the road. Alright, so while I sit here and wait for traffic to go by, let's take a look at what the load is today. Alright, large tubes, 41,000 pounds, going to Reno. Now, these large tubes here, I'm used to these tubes being in the used oil industry, or not used oil, I'm sorry, real oil, crude oil. Usually you're going to see tubes like this used to be put in the ground to transport oil. And I most recently saw these going to work because last year they laid a line going from Pontiac, Illinois, up to, I don't know exactly, I think it's Whiting, Indiana is where the BP. Oh, you dumbass. I thought he was going to stop. Apparently he didn't. Oh, well, you deserve it. You used it. It was going up to BP, Whiting, Indiana. So originally I was told it was going to be for the Keystone Pipeline because that's going down the Cushing. But apparently, I guess they have enough oil there. They need another line going up there. I don't know what the whole story is going to be, but we'll see if Keystone ever gets built. It's one thing that this country could really use to help lower our dependence on Middle Eastern oil, getting the oil sands from Canada. And so, usually these pipes are coated with a special corrosion coating on them. They look green, and that's to help against corrosion and rusting and basically falling apart in the ground. I mean, they're pressure tested. They're often, so they check for leaks and things like that. And like the company I used to work for, we never dealt with the installation of the pipes, but if one were to leak or to burst, we would be on scene if that company used us to help with remediation and cleanup. And trust me, some of the cleanups can get pretty freaking messy. Excuse me. There was one in Wisconsin. I never went on the job for, but from what I was told, the pipeline blew and it shot crude oil, all over a person's yard and house and barn and everything. And so, I mean, that was one hell of a cleanup because not only do you got to clean up the area, but you got to clean up anything that was affected. In which case, this guy, from what I was told, his pool was replaced. He had an above-ground pool. His roof was replaced because obviously his house was covered in it, repainted, resided, whatever it was. So, I mean, this guy just got a blank check. And the jobs that we were on, like the one I was on in Bolingbrook, Illinois, when that pipeline broke, and that was because there was a large boulder underneath the pipeline. They didn't know about it, and after years of settling, it was finally able to puncture a hole. Ooh, it's a little no warning sign there. Gotta pay attention. I haven't been down this section of road yet. This is part of the upscale, so we'll be taking in some scenery here too while I try to keep it on the road. But the line that broke there, it got into the sewage treatment plant, and so there was trucks from multiple companies there cleaning it all up, and I did a couple 12-hour stints on that one. And Enbridge was the main company that used my company. And Enbridge is, I think, one of the largest, if not the largest, pipeline company in the United States. And they were basically blank checking everything. For dinner, they had Jimmy John's, and they mass ordered Jimmy John's, and workers were able to come up and grab whatever they wanted. They brought in water and Gatorade by the pallets, I think from probably the local Walmart. When stuff like this happens, they don't have time to sit here and nitpick over, nickels and dimes. It's just blank check everything. And so usually certain companies really charge full price, and I'm being nice when I say that. So they hold nothing back. And at companies like that, they know that the emergency cleanup companies are doing that. They know this. They're not stupid. But it happens, unfortunately. It does. And it's just a fact of life. And until we are no longer using oil for anything, it's always going to be a fact of life. And even after we stop using oil, these pipelines are still going to be down there. They might be cleaned out and emptied, and they're sort of hollow pipe. But, I guarantee you, for generations, we're going to be finding pipelines that eventually collapse or whatever and break, and they, or maybe there was a leak or something like that, and so now they've realized, hey, we got all these acres that are soaked in oil, or who knows, whatever it is. It can be an environmental hazard as well. I mean, not can be, it is. Another job I delivered supplies to was in Lamont, and someone was driving recklessly and broke one of the above ground pipes that came out of the ground for monitoring, and it happened to leak into I don't know if it was a preserve, but it was right alongside the either Calsag Channel or Des Plaines River, and EPA was there, and oh damn, is that a buffalo up in the air? Oh, that's a tree. Never mind. I thought those were animals over there. The natural wildlife showed up and threw a big stink. Oh, where's the brakes? I knew this corner was coming up, and I always miss it. Oh, okay, good. Where's the stop sign, too? So yeah, can I back up? Not much. Okay, good. You're turning anyway. Alright, get out of my way. Okay, good. So, wildlife protection showed up and started throwing a hissy fit because apparently the swamp or the marsh that the oil leaked into was also a habitat for dragonflies, and I guess these were endangered or, you know, close to being endangered, whatever. So they were throwing a big stink about what we can do and when we could do it, so we don't endanger the dragonflies and damage their eggs. And it's like, they're sitting in oil. I think they're already fucked. But, you know, they had to tiptoe around certain areas there too and try to do their job. So, lots of people like to get involved when things like that happen, whether it's government officials from different departments or protesters or, you know, you name it. You know, everyone wants to get their hand in there. So, it's a headache business if you are management dealing with some of these things. It's also a headache for us employees too. Even though I didn't go on the Wisconsin job, there were drivers that got called out on a Friday afternoon. They had to turn around and come back and pick up trailers, with vac trailers and box trailers for supplies and things like that, and race up to the middle of boo-foo nowhere, Wisconsin, and no cell service up there. And then they had to park at the local gas station, which was barely big enough to fit 3 trucks. And then they ended up having to wait. They sat there all weekend. One of the people in the office had to go up there with a company credit card to buy these guys clothes because they were still in their work clothes from Friday. So, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I got stuck on a job out in Michigan. I was on a route, and I got called to come back, offload, go to our industrial warehouse, pick up an air scrubber, and run that out to Michigan, somewhere near like Grand Rapids or something like that. It was middle of Michigan somewhere. And so I get there, and of course they're an hour ahead, so it was already like 5:30 or something. I got there just in time, and no one on the crew out there knew why I was there and what I was bringing. And so finally I get a hold of someone, and I'm starting to get pissed. You know, I got pulled off of this, and now I'm going to be, you know, it's already close to 6 o'clock. I'm ready to get the hell out of there, and no one knows why I'm there or what I'm supposed to do. So I sit there, and I'm waiting, and finally they said, oh, well, all right, we'll have to figure it out tomorrow. Yeah, because it's already like 7:30 or something. So we all got a hotel room and had dinner, woke up the next morning, had breakfast, show up at like 6 o'clock on the job site, sitting there for a half hour. Oh, we don't need you. Are you flipping kidding me? And I don't get paid extra for any of that crap. So now I've lost 2 days of servicing customers on my route, which, although I didn't have the biggest route, I had the most customers. It was that densely packed. And I'm already pissed because I just lost out on 2 days. Now I got to drive, 4 or 5 hours back to the shop, find someone to offload this freaking massive box on the back of my truck, and then park it and, get ready for the next day. Because it was already going to be like 2 o'clock by the time I was all done. So, when you're in an industry like that, 24/7 on call. I've gotten a call on a weeknight where, and actually I was lucky enough to take my son to this one, where it was snowing up in Elgin, Illinois, and it was snowing, and someone bumped into one of the gas pumps and broke the pipe off, so gas fell on the ground. Now, the people that were working there already... there we go. I tried getting the drive-by, and didn't want to work. It's been, see, there it is. It just kicked me back in there. I have no idea why it's doing this. I haven't really looked into it either, so you can see how much I'm worried about it. But the girlfriend and my son and I were driving back. We just went out shopping, and I get a call, hey, I need you to go up to Elgin. So I drive the 45 minutes into the shop, get the truck loaded up. I've got my son with me, and lag spike, ouch. Don't know why I get these random lag spikes. Nothing's going on, but oh well. And then drive up to Elgin with them. You know, it's like 10 o'clock at night and 25 degrees out, and he ends up being like a little boss, a little foreman out there. He missed a spot over here too. You know, I was like, dude, you can freaking help me out, you know. Grab a broom, make yourself useful. Well, I'm gonna go back in the truck. Well, screw you too. So, yeah, the nighttime calls are what are really a bitch. Because I had another one years before that where I had to go to a truck stop, and the fuel tanker overflowed one of the underground tanks, and it started coming out the top. So it's middle of February. It's probably 5 degrees out, whipping 30-mile-an-hour wind, so it's like negative 15 wind chill, negative 20. And, you know, we're out there, just me and a vac driver, and we're trying to use kitty litter and sand. Well, the fire department used sand, which you guys have you've seen wet sand and how heavy it is compared to dry sand. No, oh god, it was heavy, very heavy. And we're cleaning this crap up. So, you know, that's just one of the things you have to deal with when you're on call in an emergency response kind of thing. And unfortunately, I don't get paid extra for that. But, you know, it's part of the job. But moving on to what else I wanted to discuss were the distractions. Some of you might, who are on Facebook and had friended me on Casket Man Gaming or Casket Gaming on Facebook, you might notice that I am no longer there, or at least I shouldn't be. This is not a new issue to me, and it has happened to others as well, from what I have found out. A couple months ago, apparently my profile was reported and to Facebook that I was not a real person. Facebook rule is if you are going to create a profile, you must use your real name, the name that you identify yourself with. And if required, you must be able to back up that name with some sort of ID. Well, obviously, I do not have any ID that says Casket Man, Gaming. So I went from Casket Man Gaming to Casket Gaming, and I had mentioned this when that happened. And I said, we'll see how long this lasts. Well, it caught up to me again just the second week into January. And I had got a message on Casket Man 20, my page, saying, hey, I'm trying to message you, and, I think you blocked me or something. And I was like, no. And I go over, because I knew what happened, just like it did last time. And it wanted me to change my name and then provide proof, a photocopy of my ID. Well, that ain't happening. So after a nice lengthy letter or message to Facebook on this, and it's not the first time I've said something to them about it, I posted on Friday saying, hey, this account's going to be deactivated. Facebook is going to, turn it off anyway, so I'm just going to say screw it and I'm done. Dustin Weaver, who is Trayscape's number 2 guy, posted saying, hey, that just happened to us on our profile. And I guess it was January 2nd. I don't know if he said that or if that's what I read, because I saw that Paulie in Viper's page, I think it was, posted something pretty irate about Trayscapes being shut down, and that happened around January 2nd. And it's not, and Trey had told me before it's happened to him, and it was confirmed again that this was the second time his account had been reported. I'm sure it's happened to others. I know someone had said it happened to Hemi Gaming as well. I don't know if it's Facebook police or if, and I think actually someone reported it, because I think that's what the message originally said was, hey, your account has, we've been notified that your account is false or whatever, that you're not using your real name. We'd like you to verify it. And so in that case, someone did go ahead and report my account, just like someone reported Hemi, someone reported Trayscapes, and I'm sure there's others who have a profile that is not their real name that got reported as well. It's unfortunate. I don't know who did it, nor do I really care. I don't need finger pointing either. So if anyone wants to say, hey, it was so-and-so or Joe Schmo or, whatever, it doesn't, I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to take part in that. It's done. It's over with. And it's just unfortunate, though. Pages are not the same as profiles. And Facebook even said, well, it sounds like, because I had mentioned in one of my messages, I said, this is for my YouTube channel, so I can interact with groups and pages as well as fans. And, just a community as a whole. Oh, it sounds like you should set up a page. We can, help you do that. And I was like, no, I've already done that twice. I said, I want to keep a profile. This is the only way that I can interact with pages and groups. If someone goes on the Morello's Hangout or American Mods Nation or who's the other one I'm thinking of, Viper, for example, any of those, if I'm a member of or whatever, and they tag me, I cannot comment, I cannot like, I cannot do anything. A page is just a page. It's a billboard. People have to come to me. Of course, they responded saying, well, we do offer, promotions and advertising. No, that's a nice little scam you have going on there. Force everyone into a page and then charge them to promote a post or promote your page. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Screw you. Get bent. And after I laid into them into a nice little, it wasn't profanity laced, but I gave them the full thought of what I had at the time. I have not heard back. I guess they didn't like what I had to say. But I finally did deactivate the account, and they got back to me one more time. And I said, I'm done. Don't worry about it. If it's not gone, please delete my account and do not respond. I'm done. And I haven't heard back. So, Casket Gaming should be gone. It should not show up anymore for you. They were already telling me, oh, you got 6 days, and you got 5 days, and I was like, I don't care how many days I got, I'm done. See ya. Bye. It's just unfortunate, though. It really limits us. Oh, why am I not going anywhere? Oh, that's why. 5 low still. Come on, shifter. Come on, shifter. This is the first time in a while. Hey, there's first gear. That is the first time in a while that the splitter did not work. That's annoying. It's been working so well. It hasn't had any issues. Now it wants to act up on again. I don't think that's a driver or anything. I know someone's going to say, oh, it's your magnet and blah, blah, blah. They have that issue. But you know what? I would think it would be more, it would be on my live streams. I would be having that issue. But for the last couple of live streams, I have not had that issue. So, I mean, is it really that hit or miss? Or am I looking at a, possible USB or driver issue? I really don't know. I thought since it hadn't done it for a few weeks now, it might have cleared itself up. So, yeah, it's unfortunate for Trey and Hemi and myself and anyone else that has been hit recently with, profiles being reported. And I flat out told Facebook, I said, I'm not here to harass anyone. I'm not here to bully or troll anyone. I'm just here so I can comment and post and, on other groups, on other pages. Get out of the way, truck. I'm admiring mine. Mine's prettier. But, that doesn't matter to them. It doesn't. And it's unfortunate, too, because when people message me on CasketMan20, I cannot use Facebook Messenger, which I really wish I could, because whether I'm using the phone or I'm on the computer, for some reason, the messaging part for the page is really glitchy for me. It might be because I use Firefox, I don't know, but it just glitches on me most of the time. Not all the time, but most of it. And it's just rather annoying. So, I don't know what those other guys are doing, Hemi and Trey, for example, and anyone else that's been hit recently with this whole profile banning. Yeah, I don't think Trey has started up another profile. Why are we slowing down? I know I will not be creating another profile. I'm not going to deal with that whole headache again. Besides, my personal profile that I have is already in the same groups that I was in with Casket Gaming. Oh, this is an on-ramp here. Okay, so now this idiot's gonna sit here and just stop and wait for everyone to go by. So I'll stop back here so I can cut around him. Come on, give me a window. There we go. Oh, too slow. There, now, go. Nope, too slow, pickup. You could have went. So, yeah, it's not something I'm going to mess with. It's unfortunate. You know, and if it did get reported, and I mean, I highly doubt whoever did it is someone that watches my videos. I mean, if it is though, if that's it's just childish. It's childish and pretty pathetic. You know, Trey, myself, Hemi, and anyone else, you know, we're not here to cause issues. I mean, I've never snapped on anyone. You know, I've never. I wasn't an asshole or anything like that, you know, but, you know, we all have to face the fact, and I'm sure those guys will agree that, come on, drive by. That's good. You know, not everyone is going to be a fan of us, no matter what we do. You know, people are always going to decide to go with someone else and hate everyone else just, you know, because that's, you know, their childlike mind. That's how it wants to work. I don't know. Don't care. And in all honesty, I was kind of thinking about shutting down the profile anyway. I wasn't on it as much as I was at the start. Facebook for me has opened up a whole new world of poison, in my opinion. I kind of regret being on some of the groups that I was on, and being involved with some of the groups that I was involved with, because although I myself did not partake in any of the conversations or anything, you know, I for the most part stayed quiet. You know, a lot of the stuff I saw posted, or a lot of the comments I see, it's just pretty toxic, in my opinion. You know, and some people will sit there and wonder why others don't like certain people. Well, you know, why don't you read what they post? I mean, granted, I fully agree. There are a lot of stuff that's posted that shouldn't get posted. You know, simple questions that a Google search will answer. You know, spamming, got a link, where's a link, where's a link? You know, that's annoying as hell as well. You know, those are things that really, I'm sure we all can agree, should stop. But it won't. So, that's just the nature of the beast, though. When you put yourself into the public like that, you're bound to have issues of some sort. And of course, I need to jump off here, and I can't. Come on, it's a long, skinny pedal on the right. Oh well, I can hit the next exit. It's just the way it is, you know, and I had a feeling it was going to happen again. It was just a question of when, and I kind of lost mind of it, you know, I didn't even think about it. So I'm surprised it went this long. Hell, for all I know, my account was reported back in November, and it took Facebook over a month to get around to it. Who knows? But, or then again, you know, maybe it wasn't reported, it was just Facebook police, you know, they're, random computer searching, generating shit up, and saying, hey, this person doesn't sound right. Who knows? But oh well, the page is still here, Casket Man 20, and that's not going to go anywhere. Here's a better drive-by. That's a better drive-by. Also, for this video and the next one, I am using if I can say it right, XSplit. Usually I use Dextory, and this time around I decided to use XSplit. The frame rate is actually better, believe it or not. It might not look it here. Now that I've come into Reno, it's starting to get a little choppy here and there. But, you know, that's just the normal big city thing that happens. But so far so good. I've been watching the frame rate counter, and it's been pretty good. So hopefully the video shows up the same way, and you guys are able to enjoy some good video play here. The nice thing about XSplit is it already puts it into the format that I render into anyway. So technically, I don't even have to render this video right now. But since I add an intro to it, and I do a couple tweaks here and there maybe, I still have to render it. Now, the downside to XSplit is, whoa, see, there we go again. There's fifth, alright, good shifter, good job. It didn't take you 5 minutes to find it this time. The downside with XSplit is both audio channels, game audio and microphone audio, are one. They cannot be separated. So I'm gonna have to figure out a different way. You know, hopefully the sound is okay for you guys. It's not too loud, it's not too quiet, whatever. There's a good balance between the two. Unless I use a secondary audio recording program, or I do a voiceover during editing, there's really not going to be any way for me to adjust anything in my voice. Yeah, I can probably tweak with if I do separate audio channels, you know, whatever way, yeah, I can adjust the sounds from there. But if I don't do any voiceover, and if I don't use a third party or another program for audio for my voice, then everything's going to be as one, and there's really not much I can do from there. I can raise or lower the volume, but that's also going to raise or lower both game and my voice. So hopefully if there's an issue, let me know, guys. Alright, truck's too loud, I can't hear you. Right now, I'm actually doing a voiceover, because for most of this video, I accidentally had myself muted. So the mute button gets me again, and if you guys are, you know, if you've seen my live streams, you know I still have an issue where I forget I'm muted. And so usually people in the chat, Casket's muted, check your mute, over and over and over. It's almost a weekly thing for me. But the next video here, the Tracto Common, is one that I am not voicing over. Everything is going to be one track, so you guys can let me know in that video, you know, how it sounds. Do I need to raise the game volume? Do I need to lower the game volume? Things like that. So, but here we are. Time to park. Man, that's a good sound. I like that sound. Get her shut down and take a look on the outside as I wrap this up. So, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and don't forget T600 or T660 Tractor Common coming up here. Hopefully you enjoy that one too. So until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy.